What's up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host, Marshana, Dahlia. So last night, season 9, episode 9 of A 90 Day Fiance has aired. So we took a break from Vinium and Ariella this week. So next week, we're going to check in and see what's going on with them and their craziness. And maybe Melissa will make another appearance. We don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I do want to check in with Cara and Guillermo, who actually were not on the show last week after we met her ex-boyfriend, Chris, and learned about that situation. We are now wedding venue shopping. And I don't want to say we because it's mostly just Guillermo. Cara is in it to just show him that he can't have it, because she was like, well, it's expensive and you don't understand how much it costs. And I do agree with her there because he said that a wedding should cost about $2,000. So he is completely uneducated on weddings. And I mean, there are weddings that you can pull off for 2,000, but not on the scale that Guillermo is interested in. He wants a big wedding, which is kind of ironic also because he only knows Cara, right? Like in this country and in Charlottesville. So I don't know who he wants to invite if it's his entire family. Cara is just kind of trying to control him, but she's actually trying to be nice about it this time because she's like, I don't want to make him feel bad for wanting it, but I want to make him understand he can't have it.
No, there's nothing nice about Cara, okay? Cara's not a nice person. And then what I didn't appreciate was her straight-faced lying and saying that, oh, I brought you here to be nice and whatever. No, you didn't. You brought him there for the sole explicit purpose of killing his dream, of proving that you were right, of
True.
letting him know next time, don't question me, just believe what I say because I'm supreme and I know everything. That's what this was about. There was nothing nice about it. She was so nasty. It was ridiculous. Guillermo said his budget, what he could do for a wedding would be $2,000, right? That's what he said. And I think that you can pull off a nice wedding for $2,000. I think you can go to the courthouse, do that for $50, and then go have a nice dinner at a restaurant with like 6 to 8 friends. You could still have a nice dress. He could still have a nice tux. They could still have a nice bouquet. They could still get a photographer, for really cheap, maybe take a couple of photos. You can do something so it's just not so bare bones. Oh, we paid $50. We did paperwork. We got the certificate. Furthermore, it was good for them to go and to see how much this wedding would cost. So that way, if she's saying we'll do it next year, that they would have a plan and a budget in mind and know how much money we need to work and earn and save towards the goal. So there's nothing nice about Cara. There's not any redeeming quality about Cara other than, because I try to be nice on this podcast. She has very nice teeth. Her teeth are amazing. Cara, your dentist, you got great teeth. That's what I got. That's what I got.
Well, I don't want to spend too much time on them because not a lot happened, but I do want to jump over and talk about Shida and Bilal. And they had a free day, and Shida decided to take this time to spend some time with Bilal's daughter and teach her how to cook some traditional Trinidad dishes, which I thought was a good way to bond because, the Umi situation came up during this, and I thought that this was inappropriate, because I'm thinking of cultural differences, right? When it comes to step parents in America, a lot of children have never, ever gotten to the point where they call their stepmother or stepfather mom or dad. It's a boundary issue. And then sometimes the parents have the tendency to have men that come and go or women that come and go, so they don't grow too attached to the person. And that's another reason why they don't want to. I'm thinking, Shida, Bilal barely likes you. So trying to get his children to call you Umi or mother is so far-fetched in the realm of the problems that they have going on. This is literally the least important thing she needs to be worried about. She needs to be worried about why her and Bilal can't have a conversation without him belittling her and making her feel less than. Like, the Umi situation is just something farther down the line if this even works out.
I'm back with an unpopular opinion, and I am Team Shida. I will tell you why. I am a West Indian woman myself. I'm Jamaican. I am not Trinidadian. However, I grew up. I have a lot of aunties that are Trinidadian and so on and so forth. And like my adoptive mom is Trinidadian. And even though she is not my birth mother, I call her mom. Okay. I call her mom. She's from Trinidad. It's a respect thing. She had a hand in raising me. I call her mom. So that's that. However, If that's a step too far, I can understand the children having a boundary, but there's a way to meet in the middle. And I think that would to be to either call her like auntie. We do that a lot in West Indian culture, like Auntie Shida or Ms. Shida or Ma'am Shida. There are other salutations that you can use that add respect, but don't have to be mom. So let's go with that. The real part that really bothered me though yesterday, because we can sit here and we can dance all we want about salutations, but Bilal and the way he speaks to Shida is so belittling and condescending that it actually hurts. And I love that she stood up for herself and was like, you just got to run down everything, you got to like lecture me, you have to be right, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I love that she is in defense of herself and doesn't allow herself to be subject to Bilal's narcissistic and controlling tendencies. So there's that. We can just, I don't even like to talk about him. I don't like to say his name. We can just move on.
The way he accepted that conversation, he just walked off. He was not even open to hearing the way she felt. So let's jump over and talk about Jabri and, well, David. So we watched this fight that took place, and apparently the fight took place because Jabri was texting Miona, and while they were in the studio, I guess to say I'm in the studio, whatever the situation was. And I noticed that David has such a huge issue with Miona and just her existence, just her being with Jabri and her being a part of his life. And it made me wonder. So I stalked his Instagram page. He has a girlfriend. They're serious. They've traveled the world together. I saw pictures of them together. So I'm wondering, why is it that Jabri is not allowed to have that same thing? And you can't control people. And I feel like he wants Jabri to give him and the band all of his time. But at the same time, he has a girlfriend and he's managing his time. And so what do you think is the root issue here? Because I'm trying to understand why Miona is this problem for him.
Here's the thing for me with this particular storyline. I do not like it when my intelligence is insulted. And that's how I feel. The fight was not because David was questioning Miona. It was because Jabri put his hands on David. We all saw that, right? Like in his face, like put his hands on him. I don't understand why TLC wanted to give us what I believe to be a super produced fight to create drama. We all know that Jabri wants to be famous so bad it hurts, and it's never happened for him. He's alleging that he's selling pants online for like $10,000 each and standing in water fountains naked and doing things like, if Look At Me were a person, it would be Jabri. And I just cannot understand or even fathom how a fight takes place, an alleged fight, in my opinion. And like anytime else you see a fight, the producers jump in. They're there to break it up. They're like, oh my God, fight. Did y'all see any producers get involved in this? And then all of a sudden after that, they're able to successfully record during the session. And then after that, they're able to sit down and break bread. I have been doing this podcast with you for 2 years. And even though we've never met face to face, I can guarantee with 100% certainty that there is nobody in this world that could ever put their hands on you. And you're going to sit down and be like, okay, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to record. Okay, we're going to speak. I know that that's never happening. And same for me. So it almost, when I was thinking about recording the podcast today, I'm like, how am I going to record this podcast? Because I really don't feel like I want to talk about their situation anymore, because Jabri is such an attention getter and this all is starting to feel super produced. And for those of you at home who watch this show, want to know why I think that? If you don't know, I'll say it again. I've been on 3 different reality shows. I've been on a reality show on TLC, My Feet Are Killing Me. I had a show on Bravo called Friends to Lovers. And of course, that was on The Bachelor on ABC back in 2008 on season 12. I know this stuff from the inside out. It's giving too much production.
Speaking of that, before I end with them, when he asked David if he should get married and David said you should not, did you notice that they zoomed in on his hand and there was a wedding band on his hand? And I almost feel like TLC is showing us that they're producing the shows now. They didn't even cut that out. They wanted us to see, like, hey, by the way, they're already married. We're putting this off on you as they're getting married. They're not even hiding it anymore. And I do agree with that 100%.
And listen, as much, I mean, I'm not like the people at home or other people online who be like, oh, the show is fake, storylines are fake, whatever. Because we I appreciate production, okay? I understand the value that production adds to a show. None of us want to sit here and watch people on TV sing Kumbaya, hold hands and sway and feel good. I hate to say it, but the reason why producers work so hard to give us drama is because that's what we want, that's what we consume, that's what's going to bring the ratings, that's what we're here for. However, I need you to lie to me a little bit better than this. Like,
Yes.
make the drama somewhat believable so I can really truly get into it. I am not believing the circumstances of the fight, how the fight began, if it was even genuinely a fight, and how quickly they just went into resolve. I not when they say allegedly David was a person that once put Jabri in a coma for 3 days. We know David can haul some behind. None of this is adding up. The math has not been math.
Guys, that's it for part 1. We're going to come back with part 2 and talk about, obviously, Emily and Kobe, and then some Eve and Muhammad. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana, Dahlia. Thanks for joining us. We just hit our 2-year anniversary on this 90-Day Fiance podcast. Thank you to my co-host, Marshana Spavento, and thank you to all of you who've been sticking with us and watching us this whole time. We love all of you. I'm so glad that we can do this. All right, guys, make sure you're live tweeting with us. I woke up this morning, 90 Day Fiance was still trending with over 11,000 tweets. This morning, people are still watching it. They're still talking about it. So I can't wait to see what happens next week. Again, I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana Dahlia. We'll talk to you all really soon.